Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Greg Jones for Engine Builder, and today I'm in Pittsboro, Indiana, just outside Indianapolis. We've got a special shop tour for you guys today. We are at Fleece Performance and Freedom Racing Engines. We're going to be talking to John Benschoof, who's going to be showing us around. If you guys don't know much about this shop, these guys are really dominating the diesel space. They do a ton of cool, innovative products for diesel engines. They build a lot of Cummins stuff. They do some Duramax stuff. They truly do almost anything. And they've got an amazing 60,000 square foot building, as you can tell behind me. So let's go check it out. You guys are going to be pretty impressed. I know I'm really looking forward to seeing around. So let's go find John and have him show us around Fleece Performance. Come on.
No shortcuts, no substitutes, no compromises. Great racers and engine builders choose Driven Racing Oil.
All right, guys, so here we are inside Fleece Performance and Freedom Racing Engines. Quite the impressive lobby. I've got John Benschoof. John, pleasure. We've seen each other over the years a number of times at events and talked to each other on the phone a few times.
Been after me for a while.
We finally made it happen. Here we are.
Yep.
And
I was glad to have you, man.
I'm glad to be here. And I was telling the viewers at home that you guys got some impressive stuff going on behind these walls here, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
So before we do that, tell the folks just a little bit about your role here and how you got here.
So my role here is I'm the director of new product development. Okay. So I oversee all of our new product development, engineering, as well as some of the operations side, cylinder heads, engines, things like that. Okay. I started in 2015, right after Braden & Chase had acquired Freedom Racing Engines, which is our engine machine shop. My role was to come in and run that part of the section of the company and grow it. And fast forward almost a decade later, here we are. Yeah. So
awesome. Well, I'm going to let you kind of steer the ship here. I'll follow you. I'll let you kind of talk a little bit about what's behind these walls. Before we do that, though, you just mentioned Freedom Racing Engines and the acquisition, and obviously now everything's under one roof. Is there anything different in terms of how you market those two names?
Yep, we get this question all the time. So for many years, since Braden & Chase Fleece bought Freedom Racing Engines in 2014, it's been two separate companies. We then combined once we moved into this facility in 2019. In 2022, we combined both companies. Mm-hmm. So it's been kind of a little bit of a journey. We do keep the Freedom brand still alive and well because it is synonymous with what we do. Right. So when you buy a cylinder head or an engine, it'll be a Freedom Series long block or a Freedom Series cylinder head, but you're going to be purchasing those parts through Fleece Performance. And there's several reasons for combining the two companies, but the main thing is just to not duplicate efforts. Yeah. We already built the infrastructure inside of Fleece to carry products into distribution and handle customer service and parts purchasing, all of the things that go into those products. Right. So it was just common sense to combine them. Yeah, very good. Cool. Well, like I said, let's show. All right, let's show what you guys do. Let's do this.
Driven Racing Oil's GP1 Nitro 70, trusted by top engine builders, winning racers, and devoted horsepower enthusiasts across the world. Driven takes legendary base oils, such as the ones from Bradford, Pennsylvania, which comprise our GP1 line. Then, we boost that superior base oil with state-of-the-art additive packages. Driven's GP1 Nitro 70 not only provides anti-wear protection, but can shield cylinders from washout and fuel dilution caused by methanol or nitro-based fuel. Learn more about Driven Racing Oil by following us on Facebook or Instagram at Driven Racing Oil, or shop now at drivenracingoil.com.
So we're going to start down here in the engine shop. and then we'll work our way all the way down to the test garage.
Yeah, this is awesome. Wow.
So the way that this space lays out, if you can just kind of envision, all of the engine work flows around the perimeter of this space.
Okay.
So we're gonna start our engine work inside of our rottler. Just so happens we have our billet block in there at the moment.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
And then we're gonna flow right down the line into the hone, into the build rooms. We have our engine dyno, our engine run-in stand. The engine will then get crated up and shipped out the door.
Okay, very cool.
Inside of our loop here is our cylinder head department.
Yeah.
So this is laid out in such a way that Cummins cylinder heads will start here and work around the process. Duramax will start down there and work around the process, and then on the other side of that is the Power Stroke cylinder head line.
So they've each got their own kind of areas here.
Yep.
Very good. And are you doing, you know, you got a Haas here. I can't see if that's also all the same machinery.
Yep, so this is a VF4 and that's a VF3, both Haas vertical milling machines.
Okay.
We try to automate as much of the process as we can, so in order to reach the volumes that our customers are demanding from us, we're continually reinvesting into those processes.
Yeah.
Zach's changing out fixturing right now on this head. He's going from a 12 valve Cummins head to a common rail.
Yeah.
It's about a 10-minute changeover by the time he gets things cleaned up.
Okay. And John, is there just one person kind of manning each of the Cummins heads, the Duramax heads?
So we have 4 guys in our Cummins department, 2 guys in the Duramax, and then 2 guys in the Power Stroke. So, so right now we're on pace to do a couple thousand cylinder heads this year.
Wow. That's incredible. Yeah.
So yeah, you know, for instance, all of our Street Series and Street HD Series Cummins heads are going to come through here.
Yep.
We've designed custom workbenches for the guys that are building, so all the parts are right in front of them. Everything's color coordinated. They've got all the tools and components they need to put everything together.
Yeah.
A couple paint booths, downdraft tables, our pressure checking station, and then obviously our oven and cleaning stuff down there.
Now, is it up to them to go grab the parts that they're going to need for the day, or does somebody else bring in parts?
That's up to the builder, so he's going to keep all of his parts stocked up and ready to go.
Yeah, that's neat. I like that. Very cool.
Yeah, so not only do we do our own products, but sometimes we're contracted by other companies to produce parts for them.
Yeah.
And this is a good example of a product that we make for somebody else. Concept Performance reached out to us a couple years ago and was looking for a good partner to do their machine work. So we jumped on this one because it really fit our business model. So Concept delivers us a raw casting. We then take that raw casting and machine it. Hunter's got one up in the mill right now.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And we actually even produce these main caps.
Okay.
So we'll machine the part, produce the main caps, we source some of the components and kind of finish the block. This is a builder block. Okay. So the mains are small. The deck still has a couple valve left on it to be removed. The bores are not finished. It's really designed for the guy that wants to get this part and then finish it to his specifications.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys are doing a decent amount of work on it then.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Concept has a couple different blocks. Are you guys just doing one specific thing or a couple?
They have an LS wet block, they have an LS dry block, and then a new LT. It came out this year, an LT wet and an LT solid. Yeah. And then we've got some other stuff in the works. Can't talk about it just yet. Okay. So, but cool. Yeah, this is a great company to work with, and I'm excited to see their growth.
Yeah, yeah. And so what machine is he using here for the block work?
Yeah, so this is a Smart horizontal mill NX5000. It's a perfect pallet size for this type of work and this particular project. It's a 2-pallet system, like
Okay.
most horizontals, where there's a block in the machine right now being ran as he's measuring the part that just came off it.
Yeah.
We've
Very cool.
used Shunk quick change fixturing system, which is super slick. You can just apply air to the fixture and the whole plate comes off, and he can load another one up on there quick and easy.
Yeah.
Changing between fixture plates is a matter of just really seconds.
Yeah.
It's
that's
pretty awesome.
Yeah. Wow.
It's cool to see like the machine tool world, how far it's come in the last 10 years. There's
Yeah.
so many good solutions out there.
Yeah, and as we'll see, it looks like you guys got a whole bunch of different
Oh man,
ones.
we got more.
Wow.
So these Smart SX 4000s are the little brother to the NX 5000,
Okay.
but these are our workhorse machines.
Yeah.
So these mills are making a majority of our higher volume production pieces that we produce. Cool bypasses, power flow and sure flow pump caps, fuel filter bases, like all the products that Fleece is known for.
Yeah.
And just to kind of show you, this is this is the bar of material that a power flow or sure flow pump cap starts as. They're saw cut in this machine right here into a disc like this.
Wow. Yeah.
And then the finished product.
That's so cool.
So this part will go from this stage to get anodized. We're going to anodize this black. It will come back.
Yeah.
We'll laser engrave it, and then it'll get built and put in a box and then shipped off to a happy customer.
Yeah. That's really neat. How long does that process kind of take there?
It depends on the part. You know, we send such large volumes of parts to get anodized.
Yeah.
So depending on what particular step and what the part is, the cycle times will vary from, you know, minutes to some longer than that, but
Sure.
it really just depends.
Okay.
So
Yeah. It's neat everything you guys are doing. You know, you got different products kind of at each of these stations
Yep.
here.
So this big guy right here, this OKK, this is a 1,000 millimeter horizontal mill. So this would be the big brother to the NX 5000.
Okay.
We bought this machine with the intention to make Cummins build blocks.
Okay.
So with that being said, having this machine has opened up all kinds of other opportunities because of its size. So it's kind of the type of machine that it's expensive and it's big, but once you have it, you're capable of doing things that a lot of other companies can't.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty cool.
Yeah. I
We've
can
got
only
our
imagine.
build block basically down from, we had about 40 hours of machine work in the first one, down to about 16 hours now.
Wow. That's pretty good.
So
Wow. That's very cool. So
over
what's
four
an
ops.
example of like something else you might put in there?
we've had companies contract us for different jobs. One in particular actually needed us to make a bell housing, a billet bell housing, and it was a pretty sizable part.
Yeah.
And we were able to throw it in there and knock it out. We've had another company reach out, casted cylinder heads, similar to the blocks, and same thing. We'll use this machine because that particular project required a very long tool, and we have the reach to use that tool in this machine.
Very cool. I'm guessing it could be stuff that's not even automotive related.
Oh,
right?
100%.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's cool.
Yep.
Very neat.
Yep.
Very neat.
We've got like a couple of verticals here. These will be for lower volume production or prototyping work.
Okay.
Sometimes we'll use these machines just to make one-off parts and test them.
Yeah.
You know, in the development stages of a new product, you know, we're going to come up with an idea, then we're going to prototype it, be it 3D printing or actually machining a part. But typically we're going to 3D print something and make sure that it fits before we get out to this point where we're going to actually make something.
Yeah.
Just yesterday, we've got a new product sitting here. Can't really talk a whole lot about it, but just yesterday Austin finished these up, and in the same day it's on my personal truck running.
Oh wow.
And in testing right now.
That's neat.
So
that's neat. Yeah, it's nice having all the capability right here.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Get into
I'm looking at all the scrap. You guys must be popular with the scrap
Yes,
guys.
we produce a fair bit of shavings,
right.
for sure.
Yeah, that's neat.
So our couple Swiss machines here, we actually have 5 of these Swiss machines.
Okay.
We have 3 set up right here, and then we're taking delivery next week of two more of them. These machines are really awesome though. If you can think of something, they can make them as long as it's within the size.
Yeah.
We make a lot of our own fittings because we have so many kits that use fittings. It's more cost effective for us to make them.
Yeah, I bet.
We do a fair bit of contract work with these machines too. These are bar feeders, so you're able to load up, several bars and run for long periods of time without somebody needing to stand here and babysit these machines.
Yeah, that's cool.
But this type of equipment really opens up the doors for product development because we're able to make, when you have a machine that can make an intricate part, hey, I've got this design in my head and I want to make this, but I'm stuck on this one little thing and I don't know how to get it. Again, having that tool in your toolbox is the difference sometimes.
Yeah. John,
we don't need to rely on somebody else for...
Yeah. John, how much of the machinery that you guys have in here was predicated on needing more capacity versus wanting to develop a new part or something with the engine?
That's a good question. I think every time we get to a new rung in the ladder, we started with some smaller, more basic machines, and as you grow, sometimes you step into a machine because you have a specific part that you want to make and it can do it. But you also need to be able to make a business case for buying that machine, right?
Yeah.
I want this machine because it can make a part, but it can also, increase my ability, my throughput. And I think that's usually the more. That's usually what we're looking at more when we're trying to spec a new machine is how do we get more throughput?
Yeah.
How do we further automate? How do we grow the business with this purchase? And that's essentially what we're going to look at.
Sure. That makes sense.
Yep.
Cool.
So we'll go down here. So this is a new piece of equipment we added this year. It's our CMM.
Okay.
It's really cool for when we're doing any type of, working on a casting like the guys are inspecting right now. We put this part in the machine, we made it, we can bring it over here, we can make sure that it's flat and key critical features are parallel or whatever the needed thing is. It's a tool that allows us the ability to make sure we're making really good parts.
Yeah.
We use this a lot for incoming inspections, so as we're purchasing component parts, we can lay them up in here and we can measure them, we generate inspection reports, and then again, all that data is stored and tracked. So if we have a problem, we can call on that data, say, hey, on this date, at this time, here's what we measured, and that's how we're ensuring that before anyone even touches something, we're making sure we have quality parts in the shop.
Yeah. Now, does every single part end up in this machine at some point, or just certain
No,
things?
we'll do, depending on what it is, we'll do a certain percentage.
Okay.
So, if it's a new component that we're purchasing, we might do a 10% inspection. If it's something that is a contracted job that requires it, we'll do 100% inspection. It really just depends on what we're working on.
Okay. Yeah, that's really neat.
This is kind of neat. We'll see this further down the shop. We actually make all of our own compressor wheels in-house. So once we make that wheel, every single wheel comes down here and gets balanced.
So obviously I know CWT for crankshaft balancing. I didn't even really realize they made smaller units like that.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Yep, Randy's been a really good supplier for us and a great help. So
that's very neat.
So we're in our turbo department.
Yeah.
Which, one of our core products and probably one of the products that we're most well known for is our Cheetah turbo line.
Right.
From HX35 all the way up to the new 5th gen Rams Pulsate turbos, 01 to 2016 GM with 17 to 23 just around the corner, and then Power Strokes up to 2019.
Wow.
So this is a huge section of our company, and one that we are continually investing in better process, and you know, as we'll see, I alluded to earlier, we are working hard to control as much of the process and quality as we can, including making the compressor lids that come in here in-house.
Right. And so, like you said, turbos are one of the bigger products you guys deal with. You know, how many turbos are you guys sending out the door?
We're shipping somewhere around 700 turbos a month right now.
Wow.
Yep.
That's really cool. And now, do you guys do compound packages? Or?
Nope.
No, it's just
no compound stuff. Everything's intended to be a replacement turbo.
Okay.
We have carb EO numbers on almost every single turbo now.
Okay.
So 50 state legal and
yeah,
you know, carb certified.
That's great.
We're stepping into the warehouse now, so all of the components that are produced down there eventually come down here and feed the kitting area. And
yeah,
then
you got a bit of a flow.
Yep,
through,
yep. So you're looking at all the finished kitted components. These are all ready to be picked and fill orders with. I don't ask me how many SKUs we have, because it's a lot now.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yep.
It definitely looks like it.
But this is one area of the business that is crunch for space right now. We're struggling to keep enough shelf space for the new products coming in and the existing products.
Yeah, and so speaking of space, you know, we didn't mention it yet, but when we were in yesterday, meeting with you guys, you mentioned there's quite the expansion going on.
I'll show you right now. Don't step in the mud. Yeah, we're in the process of adding another 150,000 square feet to the back of our building.
Wow.
So basically we're gonna grow out back here. We got 52 acres, or we own 52 acres on this campus. So the next building will allow us to really grow and expand every part of the company.
Yeah.
You know, the engine side of things is probably in the worst shape as far as having room to grow and expand. But this will basically, what we're standing in right now will be our machine shop.
Yeah.
And then everything will kind of shuffle around accordingly and
wow.
and give us the ability to continue to grow into the next, 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even wrap my brain around again the amount of growth you guys have already had, and now adding 150,000 square feet.
Yep. It's pretty awesome.
Kind of boggles my mind, but that's really neat that you guys are looking forward to the future and planning out ahead of what you need.
It gets pretty exciting from here. They should be standing up wall panels in October, so we're only month and a half away from having walls up, and then it won't be long ceiling, and it goes pretty quick at that point. So
I bet. Yeah, this is just the groundwork, right?
Yep.
Very cool.
So this will be kind of classified as like our shipping area. So this area is set up for us to basically build and fulfill orders.
Yeah.
A majority of the business is set up around distribution. We do direct sales online, so you can order and buy parts right off our website. Everything from small fittings to complete long block engines. But that's just a small portion of what we do. Most of our sales are through distribution, your Premiers, XDP, Meyer, Thoroughbred, those types of suppliers. From there, everything is, we talked about laser engraving earlier.
Yeah.
This is a good example of some parts that have come back from anodize.
Yeah.
And are
That's
set up
neat.
here now to laser engrave our logo into. So we have three machines here set up to do this.
And it's always just that classic F. Do you guys do anything different?
Not always. So, for instance, we'll use that as a chance to put some instructions too.
Okay.
Like,
so there's a whole bunch of things you could
Yep.
laser on there. Okay.
Yep.
Nice. That's really neat. Here's some of these turbo wheels there.
Yep, those are some of the compressor wheels.
And you were showing us the F is on each of the blades. That's cool.
Yeah, so these will come over and get part number laser engraved in.
Okay.
This is the kitting area. This is where all of our kits get put together. So all of the inputs and component parts, you know, that we either manufacture in-house or source come together here.
Yeah.
I always say that this group is the closest to the customer. This is the last line of defense. These guys and girls are the ones that are putting their hands on the parts last. And so that's a really important job here.
Sure, definitely.
But it's been really cool as our, you know, volumes have increased, so has our team out here. So these guys and girls have done an awesome job of stepping up to the plate, and it's been crazy over here over the last 12 months. So
I can't even imagine.
Yep.
Again, like you said, you don't even know how many SKUs you guys have, so I can imagine they're busy.
This is a pump department. So it's similar to the cap that you saw out there. This would be the finished product.
Okay, yep, so it's all anodized and laser engraved now, yeah.
Yep. But here in this area, we're gonna build our power flow or SureFlow products, as well as our CP3 pumps. One thing we didn't see, we're not currently making them at the moment, but we make our own camshafts for CP3 pumps. So we offer a stock 10 mil and a 12 mil stroker pump for Dodge and GM trucks. We take those cams, we hard turn them, heat treat them, and produce them in-house. The Power Flow and SureFlow pumps, sometimes we get questions on these, but the Power Flow is a pumped sending unit. So this is designed to be a better than factory lift pump option for Dodge, Chevy, Ford trucks, diesel. We had a lot of customers asking for this product, however, which is a SureFlow, so there's no pumps in this bucket. And this is designed for somebody who has another aftermarket type lift pump, but still wants all the benefits of our nice sending unit, such as the billet cap and the ability to, you know, add or change fittings as you see fit with your truck. You might be doing something custom. But the cool thing is the way this is designed, you know, there's no draw straws. You don't have to cut any holes in your fuel tank. It drops right in, and
that's nice.
Affords you the ability to not run into quarter tank issues where, you know, some of the other guys in the industry, their products will, you know, force you to
fill up the tank.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep at least a quarter tank of fuel in your truck.
Gotcha. That's really neat. Nice.
Yep. Okay, next stop, we're gonna go over to the test garage. The business was started as a full-service truck shop, and we since closed this part of the business to outside work and use it instead for new product development.
Okay, so these are all employee trucks to some degree, or just trucks that you guys own?
Yep. Yeah. So we typically, if we need a truck, we're gonna go get it.
Okay.
You know, a truck to me is just like a torque wrench or a screwdriver. It's a tool. It's a means for us to develop products faster and more efficiently, as well as, you know, if we have a truck and we can drive it. For instance, this white GMC truck here, we're doing some turbo development on it right now.
Okay.
And we purchased this particular truck for that purpose. We'll use it to get the turbos done, and then we'll figure out what other parts we can make for it, what other problems we can solve, and then ultimately it'll get traded in on the next one.
Okay. So how long will you guys typically keep a vehicle that you're using for testing like that?
Depends on the truck.
Okay.
You know, we might keep one just for we might buy a truck for a specific reason, and it might only be in the family for, you know, 6 months.
Yeah.
And other trucks we've had for 10 years.
Very good. Yeah, it just depends on how many parts you want to put on it.
100%. And sometimes when you have a truck, it becomes handy for other things.
Yeah.
But, you know, you know, like I said, we started as a service-based business, a truck shop, and then transitioned into a manufacturing company. And when we can really, you know, come up with an idea, create a prototype, and test in a very short amount of time,
Yeah.
it makes product development 10 times easier. So at this point, that's really where the business has driven to is the manufacturing side of things.
I mean, you guys are already doing so much of it. Yeah.
This area is, we call it like a satellite cell for our turbo shop.
Okay.
So we got a fab area over here. A lot of our turbos are built off of cores, and so we'll qualify and machine the compressor covers and turbine housings in a lot of these machines over here. Mark, on the other hand, is working on making new compressor wheels. So the parts that we saw over in the turbo department and then over by the laser engravers.
Yeah, it's kind of the different stages. Right?
Yep, so we'll start off as a forging like this. And then Mark's blanking those forgings in this machine. And then ultimately this SW will produce this part. That's the finished product. This is a twin spindle machine. It's robot fed, so it's fully automated.
Wow.
It'll make a compressor wheel every 9 minutes.
Wow. And I'm noticing that most of these compressor wheels are the same size. Do you guys just make a certain size, or are there different sizes that you guys make?
We make a couple different sizes.
Okay.
So there's a couple different size compressor wheels, but they're close enough that without having like a intimate knowledge of the part, you'd say they look pretty much the same.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just maybe looks similar, but there's different sizes. Okay, very cool.
Yeah, and then we have our chassis dyno over here, which we're working on a project.
Okay.
As you can see, we are kind of cramped for space.
Yeah. Got to park the loader there, right?
Yep. But there is one other area I want to bring you guys to that we didn't catch, and that's the electrical department. I think it'd be pretty interesting for you to see that.
Yeah, let's see it. So John, about how many total employees does Fleece now have?
We have somewhere around 85 people working here.
Okay.
Yep.
And then, you know, what's that split between who's down here doing stuff on the floor versus administrative roles?
I would say we probably have somewhere between 15 to 20 administrative roles, and the rest is all on the floor, you know, working in the shop here.
Yeah, very nice. I hear you got an array of shirts on display there.
Yes, we got plenty of cool apparel. And a lot of empty Culligan jugs.
Yeah, people are staying hydrated.
So this is the electrical department. This would be a fairly new category for us in our catalog, although we've been making, you know, supporting electrical components for years for our kits. So certain kits that we make have harnesses, adapter harnesses, or, you know, pigtails. And, you know, as the volumes were increasing, we really had to sit down and figure out how do we help the guys up here who are making these parts, because, you know, they're doing so many crimps, they're doing them by hand.
Yeah.
It's hard to control the quality, and it's hard to scale it. So we invested in this machine, which is a automated, basically it's a cut, strip, crimp, terminate piece of equipment.
Wow.
And we'll buy wire by the 55-gallon drum.
Wow.
And it will be able to make a part like this in about half a second.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's insane.
That's fast.
So when you consider, you know, how much work this would
Yeah,
require
take
of
someone
you
to
just
do
doing
it.
it on the bench.
Yeah.
But it, you know, again, by having a piece of equipment like this, now we have the ability to like scale up and grow. So you asked the question earlier, how often do you buy a machine just, you know, because you want to make a specific part, or because you're trying to like grow? Well, this would be a good example of how we look at things.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both.
So, okay, now we have a nice piece of equipment that will support what we're currently doing. How do we grow it now? And that's where these products come into play. the easiest thing to do once we had this up and running was to say, hey, let's try to put a new page in the catalog, and it, you know, was natural to just look at repair pigtails.
Yeah.
So we got to work and started coming up with like the early problem solver pigtails that we needed to release, and since then we've just been spitting them out.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of different engines represented here too. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. So again, Dodge, Chevy, Ford, just working through each platform. You know, there's some Allison transmission pigtails.
Yeah, I saw a Mopar thing a second ago.
Yep. We
Yeah.
we realized once we got into it, a lot of the pigtails, you know, will cross over into the Jeep space or just other, you know, vehicle platforms within that same, you know,
Yeah.
it might be Chrysler or Ford. And then we have some other cool products like these All Lights On. This is a neat product. So this is something that's I would call it like a legacy product, and we keep kind of growing and expanding. But this is designed so that this one in particular will go in your fuse box. You'll pop out a couple fuses and relays, set this in, and then put them right back where they're supposed to go. And what it does is it gives you all your lights. So your lows operate like normal, your fog lights operate like normal, but when you hit your high beams, you get your highs, your lows, and your fogs.
Oh wow.
So hence All Lights On.
Yeah. Neat.
Yep. So, you know, we hit a slam dunk on a few of these things. The L5P injector pigtail, it's a very common problem on 17 to 23 trucks. The injector pigtail will break. And so, you know, some of those have been big hits,
Yeah.
but we keep trying to come up with more and more of these, and it's awesome to hear the cool feedback from all of our customers that just love having these things.
Okay.
So,
That's really neat. Yeah, this is a cool little area of the business that I didn't even know
yeah.
you guys were into.
So, bigger picture, you know, we started on the pigtails and then quickly realized, like, oh, wow, we now have all these connectors, right? So what can we do next? And that, you know, next natural progression is complete engine harnesses.
Okay.
You know, right now we make an engine harness for our competition stuff to work with a Motec. And so we're, you know, instead of relying on somebody else and long lead times and wanting things to be a certain way and not being able to get it, we just make it ourselves. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the approach we try to take in all areas of the company, is any chance we can get to do it ourselves and control, you know, quality and lead times, we're gonna jump on it.
And have it make sense. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, but a lot of times it does.
Sure.
So
Sure.
we try to, like I said, manufacture as much as we can in-house.
Certainly seems that way.
Yep.
It's all impressive. Very nice.
Yeah, so that's kind of the nickel tour.
Cool. Well, John, really appreciate it. You know,
Yeah.
like I said, I was looking forward to getting down here and seeing this really not even that new building anymore. But, you know, again, first time seeing it, it's definitely impressive. And I'll be looking forward to seeing everything else you guys have going
Cool.
on. And hopefully it's maybe a few months versus years. But
Absolutely.
really appreciate the time and the tour. And guys, I hope you all enjoyed watching this tour of Fleece Performance and Freedom Racing Engines. If you got questions for John or anyone here at Fleece, make sure you leave that stuff down in the comments and we'll be sure to pass it on. But as always, make sure you're checking out enginebuildermag.com for more great engine content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.